Welcome, Climate viewers. This is Jim Lee from Climate Viewer News. Michael Hogan from Missouri Clean Skies is a good friend of mine. We have been talking for quite some time, and he's currently trying to pass some legislation in Missouri. His website is MissouriCleanSkies.org, and we're going to talk about the legislation that he's trying to get passed. Let's start with, how did you get into the topic of geoengineering weather modification? And let's specifically just talk about McKim trails.
Yeah.
So you want to tell them, or I'll tee you up. You just tell them.
I want to hear what you say.
So I get a call from a guy named Jack Frost, and I'm sure that Jack's not going to mind me saying this. And he's like, "Hey, I got this dude. He's working on this legislation. We want to get you in touch with him so we can, help out however we can." And I basically get an email back saying, F off. This guy, Jim Lee's a shill. I don't need to talk to him, and have a nice effing day.
Now, who said that?
You said that.
Oh, no.
I'm paraphrasing, of course. He did not say the F word one single time.
All right.
I'll always clarify. So then a couple months later, I get another text message from Jack, and he's sending me what Michael had sent to him. He's like, basically, I've done my own research. I've had a change of heart. Sorry I was so rude. Let's talk. Tell me about that gap. Like, what happened in that gap?
I probably should have started this and not let you set that up, because
Hey, you asked for it.
I gotta fix this mess already. It's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. So it's funny though, because this guy, so he's not far from me, but he's down in the Arkansas, other side of Arkansas. I'm up in Missouri, right? We're probably an hour from each other. So he was going to do a presentation at one of the political places that's does presentations. He was going to do one on geoengineering, and he wanted my help, and I was glad to do it. And then he kept sending me all these Jim Lee videos, and he was very, very forceful about it. And like, you need to check this guy out. You need to watch this video. And it's one after the other, one after. And so I did. I started listening to him, and I was like, wow, this is really, really intriguing. I hadn't heard this before. And then we have, some people we were part of, kind of groups, and you kind of try, this is brand new. All this was brand new to me. By the way, let me back up a little bit. I've only been doing this for 8 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And it all started with me being on my back porch and going, you know what, I'm going to do something about the chemtrails. Okay. And if nobody else but me, that's going to have to be me. So that's when I began this fight. And today, 8 months later, I have 2 bills in the House and 1 in the Senate. And I'm going to the Senate on Thursday to give testimony. This thing has come full circle so fast. We have millions of viewers. We have 130,000 followers on Facebook alone. And so it has been incredible. And so when way back at the beginning, he was really wanting me to get on the right page, because he knew the truth. Okay. And I was still kind of on the Wiggingtard, bandwagon, if you will. And so your audience knows what I mean by that. And
they do.
And so, but as I would inquire with people that are in this movement, right, I said, oh, guess what? Look what I found. And I got shut down in a hurry. And people were like, whoa. Is that Jim Lee? And I was like, yeah, it's great. And they're like, no, he's the devil. Okay. You can't remember, we told you, they said, if you ever hear from a guy named Jim Lee, just ignore him and block him. And I was like, oh my goodness, I guess he is the devil. And so I was like, okay, Jack, I'm out. I can't, I'm hearing that this guy's bad. I don't know the difference. So I'm just going to not help. I'm just, I'm out. So stop. And he got pretty offended, and because he really needed my help. And thankfully I didn't help him, because I was on the wrong page. So I did start doing my own research, and it really began with just my own simple flight tracker. And when I found out that what I was seeing was completely different from what I heard on the dimming, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Number one, every plane that I saw was, commercial aircraft. And that changed my life. Then I started looking at your videos and I started figuring out that I could actually track them, track the conditions in real time. And then when I got to the Windy app, that blew my mind. And so I became a believer immediately. And it changed my life because I cannot share, I cannot spread false information. It's just not in my spirit. I can't do it. Why am I doing this? I'm not doing this for my own good. I'm not doing this for my own toot my own horn or anything. I'm certainly not making money. I'm spending money out of my pocket for this, but I don't want to spread misinformation. Fake. I mean, that's a bad word that gets used too much, but I'm talking lies, straight out lies
Yeah.
about the chemtrails. And so the last thing I want to do is to go and to Missouri and say, hey, guess what? We banned chemtrails. And it's not true. We're banning it. In our legislation, I'm making it perfectly clear to our audience, to our people, that we are banning stratospheric aerosol injections. Yes, solar radiation modification. We're going to ban that. Okay.
Take a pause right there. So
Yeah.
the thing that struck me about your comment back to Jack, that really impressed me was very few people who have a belief system, especially when they're hearing, because you said very clearly that you had all these people in your ear who are telling you don't talk to Jim Lee. Most people, when I tell them this, they're always like, Jim, why do you hate on Dane? Jim, why do you hate on? I'm not going to even name the people because just for confidentiality's sake, I'm not going to name the people who specifically were, in your ear. But let's just put it this way. I know for a fact that I know all these people and I know how they feel about what I'm doing. And they have this like inside click where they do not want anybody. It's the only thing I can liken it to is the group think of, the, far left, even the far right. They get in these echo chambers, and anybody who steps out of line of the group think, they're ostracized. And then there's a shadow whisper campaign behind the scenes, which you're probably you're on the list now too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that Michael Hogan, he's a devil. He's in line with Jim Lee, and they're part of the Illuminati, shill agents for the CIA.
Yeah.
But what struck me about your text to Jack that really, resonated with me was that you not only recognized that you were wrong, but then you literally you asked Jack for forgiveness. And as a Christian, that meant more to me than anything else. Immediately, I said, this guy's not only going, I was wrong, but he asked Jack for forgiveness. That's a Christian man. That's an honest person. That is a critical thinker. Yeah. I'm going to do everything in my power to help you. And again, same situation here. I'm not making money doing this. I'm a freaking sheriff's deputy. I work Monday through Friday. Otherwise, I would be at your legislation, hearing on Thursday.
Right.
I would give anything to be doing that instead of going to work, for the sheriff's department. But these are this is the reality of the situation we face. So bravo to you, for being, a Christian who can, say, I was wrong, please forgive me. But more so to be able to break that mental hold that people can have on you and then go, I believe this thing, but I'm going to try to face the, the opposition. I'm going to take all of the, the critiques that people are throwing at me, and I'm going to verify them myself. And like you said, you did that. And when you go out and you actually see, no, the majority of these are freaking commercial jets.
Yeah.
This is, this is not what I expected. This is not the narrative I've been taught. That's when people really, really, just get hit with a hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I cannot share, I can't be a part of a lie. And
Yeah.
when I found out that that was a lie, and you know, I'm not suggesting everybody's lying about it. A lot of people believe it. You know, they think that way, just like I did. I was 100% committed to that. And I was offended by anybody else who said otherwise. And now it's just the opposite, you know. And so, yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm excited about this because if we're going after the wrong sources, we're going to lose this battle. Okay. I think the EPA and the FAA and everybody that knows that what's going on are happy that people are looking at this as though they think that's stratospheric aerosol ejections. They're not even looking at us, the real source of the problem. And that's not helping us. Eventually, people, slowly but surely, people are coming around though because Florida passed the bill, right? And nothing changed. And
Same
now
with Tennessee and Louisiana.
and same thing's going to happen here in Missouri. If we pass this bill, I'm telling everybody on the next morning, don't be calling me because I already told you that was the first step. We want to ban stratospheric aerosol injections. We want to ban cloud seeding and weather manipulation. That's the state issue. Plus, the more states get on board with this, the more the federal government will look at.
Can you see the chat that I'm pinning right
No,
now?
no.
Yes, may the pickle jars of indoctrination be broken before it's too late, my friends. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. So, you know, I tell you what, I was on the phone with a guy yesterday, and it's a guy, I start talking to him, and it's a guy that could potentially testify, but I'm vetting them. I want to make sure we're on the same page. The last thing I want is them to walk in, and this guy was one of them. He's like, oh, and I know Dane, and I know this and that. He says, yeah, he's going to go into the committee and say, yeah, we're going to stop these chemtrails. I'm going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just told him that's not about the chemtrails. So I want to make sure we're on the same page. So I'm telling him, I was on the phone with him an hour yesterday. He tells me he's been doing this for 20 years. He's very educated in it. And I said, well, in 1 hour, I'm going to change your mind. By the time we got done with the hour, he said, wow, you are on to something here. And I can't believe somebody that has been doing this for 8 months knows more than I do about this topic. So that is, you can't deny the facts here. If people will actually listen to what Jim has to say, and me now, okay, I'm committed to this, the truth. If people will just stop and listen and just think for yourself and look at, we actually have proof. Whereas before, all you had was a documentary and somebody's hearsay. Now you have actual proof where you can say, can you actually predict chemtrails? Because I can. Like, how is that possible? If
it's because we have a hotline to the Illuminati. I mean, everybody knows that the Illuminati bought me the finest double wide trailer that has ever been. I mean, it's a Masonic mansion.
Well, that sword behind you, that's proof that you're Masonic, right?
It's a freaking katana, bro. Like, literally.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Full disclosure, and this is gonna like shock people, not shock people. My brother is a Mason, and he comes up with this stupid little book, and he starts reading me the Wishful Master shit, and I'm like, David, have fun with your club. But trust me, none of them have katanas. They have really, really weird, old English and Scottish swords, and it's just, I mean, it's too much for me. Personally, and I'm too broke to afford to even join if I wanted to. So that's a whole different topic. But yeah, we have the bat. I love it. The bat phone. So they call us on the bat phone and they tell us when the chemtrails are coming. That's how we know. We need like a chemtrail symbol in the sky that just warns people in advance.
Like Batman.
Yeah. And another person says 3 days before any storm. Yeah, I mean, when a storm front's coming in, you're going to push a lot of moisture into the area. Usually it's going to be a colder front that's going to trigger a whole bunch of planes making contrails, which could turn into cirrus clouds, which isn't a chemtrail or a contrail. It's a freaking cloud.
Right.
So to that point, let's go ahead and pre-bunk some of the arguments that are going to be made, because inevitably there will probably be some lamestream, legacy media outlet that's going to try to do a hit piece on what Missouri's doing, what you're doing specifically.
Yeah.
Is your bill about chemtrails?
No.
At all? Not even an iota?
Nope.
Okay.
No mentions.
So you're only trying to ban weather modification and geoengineering activities. And this has nothing to do with planes making clouds in the sky, correct?
Zero.
How about that? Okay, so this is going to be one of the talking points that they've used repeatedly. They did it in Tennessee, they did it in Florida, all the mainstream outlets, all of the, the hit pieces that are going to be written about this, they always come back to they're trying to ban the chemtrails. Even the debunkers that are going to be trolling all your social media feeds, like you're going to share something about this. I do want to, real quick, while we're at it, we're going to try this and pray I don't break the freaking stream. Here we go. Cross your fingers, everybody. It didn't break.
Yeah.
It's magic, the magic of the internet and a little bit of karma. Everybody in chat, please continue to pray for us in this transmission. So over on the Missouri Clean Skies, that's at mocleanskies.org. You can see Michael's website. And what you'll see on there is right now an urgent call to action. If you would like to participate in this, if you are in the Missouri area, you're going to be having a hearing, you say this Thursday, correct?
Yeah.
This coming Thursday.
February
5th. Okay, so February 5th. On the page here, if you scroll down, you can contact them. Please fill out this form. This right here, you can fill out this form, and that way they can get in touch with you, possibly talk to you about doing this. Currently, we're talking about House Bill number 2388, which is not a chemtrail ban. So I just want to reiterate that if you are, in Missouri, or if you're not, don't care. If you're expecting that this bill somehow is going to clear the skies of all the clouds, you are in Delulu land. You are part of the Dane Bread Nation. You are part of the, the chemtrail cult. The chemtrail cult is no different than the climate cult. Cow farts are not going to kill you, and chemtrails are not real. At least in the sense that, every plane has a pump and pipe and cannot make contrails. So these two are unrelated. What we're specifically talking about here is he has language in here about geoengineering, stratospheric aerosol injection, marine cloud brightening, cloud seeding, artificial intelligence in relation to the aforementioned acronyms and things. So this is not your chemtrail ban. Now, the next questions are going to be obviously, yes, you can ban cloud seeding in a state. And we all know that Augustus Dorico from Rainmaker is going to show up there because he seems to be like the industry lobbyist for the cloud seeding industry. Even though there has not been an active cloud seeding project in Missouri for a long time, why would you say that it's a good idea to go ahead and ban cloud seeding? Take it away.
Well, first of all, why are they here? If it hasn't been happening, they're going to admit that it hasn't been happening. And they're going to admit, they just want to say, we don't, just like they said in Florida, we don't want to set a precedence. And basically they're losing their market share. They can't go in Florida. They just can't. They're getting the brunt of this Florida bill, this Florida ban. Because if anybody sees a cloud seeding plane, which you can identify them, of course they have drones and all that, but they get caught, they're going to go down. So here, they don't want that. They don't want to lose their opportunities. And so here's the deal. the people of Missouri do not want anybody to manipulate our weather patterns. No doubt about it. We are seeing changes, but we also know that people are involved and people have been changing our weather. And that includes anything. Now, even if you say that silver iodide is safe and all that kind of stuff, we know for a fact that it's really not. If you look at the labels, and I don't care how little you want to put in it, the bottom line is we don't want cotton candy sprayed over our head, even if it's safe and effective, just like, then we don't want any of it. We don't want anybody. What if, okay, so a farmer, we're talking to the ag committee, which is going to be favorable to these cloud seeders. We don't want one farmer who has a lot of money to say, well, I get to choose that I get that rain. And what about the farmer downwind that doesn't have the money? What if that rain could have been meant for him naturally? It's the effects downwind and downstream. They're all unknown. There's not a single, even the cloud seeder companies will say there's really no history of effectiveness. And so why even do it then? Why, other than the fact that they're making a gobs of money doing it?
So to that point, I'm going to go to weathermodificationhistory.com, and on our weather modification page, there's this quote by Bernard Silverman. This was at the Bulletin of American Meteorological Society 2003, a critical assessment of hygroscopic seeding of convective clouds for rainfall enhancement. And in it, they said, I'm not going to read any of this, but the gust front from which will trigger the successive development of more vigorous second, third, and fourth generation cells than those from unseeded clouds. So, and they start with that seeding concepts have been scientifically have been scientifically proven, not yet. So the point is that if Farmer Joe goes and gets cloud seeding, he's paying for it for him, for his farm.
Mm-hmm.
But when that storm cell rains on his farm, that's going to generate second, third, and fourth generation storms, which can actually become much more vigorous, dangerous. This is the downstream, the butterfly effect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not me, shooting from my hip here. This is straight from the Bulletin of the American Meteorological Society.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the kinds of arguments that when they're put to the test, they don't stand up, because at the end of the day, they've never really done any, they've never really done any long-term assessments on this, and they're not, they're not, being very transparent, because if they were transparent and if they were providing the data in real time, then we would be able to see their plane seed a storm and then be able to track that storm and see how it evolves. Misinformation says, would love for Michael to call out the Dane Deming cult in his testimony. We need that soundbite.
Stay tuned.
All right.
I'm not giving away I only get 3 minutes in my initial testimony, and that's going to go really fast. But follow-up questions, I can actually plan that, and I can actually tell you what's going to be in it verbatim. But when it comes to questions that are come my way, I cannot, affirm or deny that I might say something like that.
Well, see, the way these things usually go is, like I testified to the EPA in 2015, and they told me I had 10 minutes to testify. So I wrote, we talked about this previously. I wrote down what I was going to say. And then I practiced reading it over and over again to make sure I could get it in that 10-minute window. But in your situation, you're going to be in front of a committee, and the committee's probably going to ask you follow-up questions.
Definitely.
That's your opportunity to literally take all the time you want, to say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, your oral testimony does not have to match your written testimony. So one of my suggestions to you is this: have your oral testimony ready that you're going to read, and know that you're going to practice it. You're going to nail this because you're great at this shit. But have a longer form paper where you already have these citations and everything, and tell them, look, and this concludes my testimony. I have submitted, some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some supplemental material.
Yeah.
I have made a supplemental material statement, which gives all of the references to what I'm saying, what our claims are, and the scientific evidence backing up the necessity of this legal document that we're trying to pass here today. That way, you don't have to say it out loud. It doesn't have to be on the record, but it is legally on the record. And then you can provide that also on your website, so that when the haters, the naysayers, and the trolls want to come for you, you say, look, here's what I said. Here's what I also provided to the community, to the committee. And because at the end of the day, they're going to take what you said, and then they're going to also have to deal with this freaking paper you have. And you'll have all your feces consolidated on that sheet of paper to where they won't be able to go, he meant this. No, dude, literally, like, there's an entire 3 paragraphs plus a whole bunch of references citing what I'm talking about. I think that would be a great, and I've already told you, I'm willing, we got a week. So, I'm willing to help you all the way through that as much as I can. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have this, clearly, like, Augustus Tarico is going to be there shilling for the cloud seeding companies. Hey, we want to leave the door open so that Farmer Brown can, maybe in the future, if you have drought conditions, we can come in and save the day with our magical rain making fairy dust. But at the end of the day, these people, cloud seeding's been around since 1947, and they have still to this day never proven it actually works. So that's the strongest argument you can make. Hey, I know this guy's going to come speak after me.
I already have that in there.
Yeah, I know you do. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So just to reiterate, not a chemtrail ban. We're not in Delulu land where we think somehow that's magically going to happen because some legislators wrote a sheet of paper down, and then magically physics is going to change overnight. So what else? So as far as geoengineering, what do you have in the? I'm side eyeing the chat. So if I'm not looking into the camera, guys, know that I'm reading your chat right now. From everybody just saying things like dang wigging tune to more worthwhile arguments. Anyway, so we're gonna get into those in just a minute. I'm trying to, like, save a couple of these just to throw at you in a little bit. As far as cloud seeding, like, I saw that you have in there the chemical and electromagnetic aspects of that. So what we're talking about is obviously, like, silver iodide, calcium chloride. This is glaciogenic and hygroscopic cloud seeding. These are the 2 major types. The third being electric. Now, a lot of people get this electric part twisted. We're not talking about NEXRAD or freaking HARP. We're talking about cloud ionization and the use of lasers. These are the 2 predominant forms of electric weather modification. Are those addressed in the bill as well? Because I saw that you had a general anything electromagnetic.
Very little, because the intent is we really want to keep the focus narrowed. Okay, that's going to be, if once these bills, let's say they do pass, phase 2 will be addressing other things like that, more detailed. But no, that it's literally mentioned one time. But this is already a super complicated issue. And complicating it even further by adding another element like that it's probably not a good idea, in my opinion. Now, what you're referring to is the House bill. We have 2 House bills that are going to go to committee soon. Those bills, you'll see that they're identical on our website. Those bills that I co-wrote myself with help, of course, and I'm very satisfied with them. Now, the Senate bill, which is what I'm testifying before on Thursday, it is, if you look it up, it's on our website. The way that it appears on there is not my language, and I have to tell you the story a little bit. Do I have time to do that? So basically, when I submitted my Senate bill, it got manipulated and changed by the powers that be in Jeff City, including drafters, attorneys, chiefs of staff. They completely changed the bill that I had, which was basically the House bills, and put their own words and changed things and to where it was unrecognizable. I was in Honduras when I came back on vacation. I came back and it was already submitted, and I blew a gasket. And I went to Jeff City and I sat down with these people face to face, and I said, "Look, I do not support this bill anymore. It's not even my bill.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you even taking the words out, geoengineering, and why are you adding things?" They actually added in here that a bond where a company can come in and place a bond of $25 million to seed or to do whatever they want to. And I said, that is completely unacceptable. I can't even show this to people that in the community. I can't show this to my supporters. You're telling me that you're giving them globalists have 25 million sitting in the cushions between their couch. And so absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And I had to fight this. I can't tell you how hard I had to fight, but it got thrown out. So I actually have the updated bill. It's going to be a Senate substitute. Took all that out, put all the right language in it, and it basically looks a lot more like the House bill does, with some exceptions. I had to make some exceptions, but I can support this bill now. So if you look at it now, the way it looks in the Senate bill SB 860, you're not going to like the looks of it. But
yeah, I mean, there's literally nothing here.
Well, you can find it. I think I just haven't got the right link on there. But because honestly, I did it.
I mean, I could go to Legiscan right now. I'm not gonna bore the chat with that right now. One of the things that I would suggest is that if you actually go to the NOAA Weather Modification Reporting website, and this is where all of the active cloud seeding projects that are going on occur. Link in chat, guys. It's here. Let me get here, and I'll just throw that up there. All of this is available on weathermodificationhistory.com/weather-modification. So you can just click the link and go to it. But the definitions under the Weather Modification Reporting Act, right here you can see using lasers or other sources of electromagnetic radiation. So this one, you could literally just mirror the text here. To cover all types of weather modification. But if you actually go to what's called the Weather Modification Reporting Act of 1971, I need to update that. It drives me crazy. But it's Public Law 92205, 85 Statute 735. And I have it down here. This is 15 CFR Part 908. If you go to this link, I'm going to throw this one in chat for everybody at home playing along. Here you go. Look, my boy Ed's on it right there. See that? God bless my moderators from my Telegram chat. They're already found your bill on the Missouri. There's the state bill, the Senate bill. Anyway,
yeah. Well, remember that's not the one that's going to committee.
Yeah. Well,
you got to trust me on that one, okay?
Trust me, bro. If you go to the actual Weather Modification Reporting Act, this is pretty interesting because if you look at the definition of weather modification activity, any activity performed with the intention of producing artificial changes in the composition, behavior, or dynamics of the atmosphere. That is the most broad, simple definition you will ever read in your life. And this was written in 1971. This is the law of the land. So I think that we can overcomplicate it by, getting into the semantics of all the different technologies. like they say here, modifying solar radiation to cool the planet, modifying characteristics of land or water surfaces by treating with powders, liquid sprays, dyes, or materials, releasing electrically charged or radioactive particles, ions. This is cloud ionization. Um, we could list all these, but the problem is if we do, tomorrow they will invent a new technology that won't be covered. So I think that going with, the 15 CFR 908-1 definition, which is super freaking broad, it covers weather modification and geoengineering simultaneously. So that's a great way to do it, with any activity performed with the intention of producing any artificial changes. Like, you can't get any more broad than that. I know that you're probably already locked in on the
No, that's in here.
Okay, perfect.
It's in here. It's actually in here. Yeah. Weather modification, any activity performed with the intention of producing artificial changes to the composition, behavior, dynamics of the atmosphere. So it's right here.
Epic. I like it. So this is, we're getting into the minutia here, but you guys know, anybody who's been following me for a while, I love minutia. I love getting in the weeds because the term semantics and terminology determines so much of, how we cannot think an idea, without having a word to attach to it. So getting into these semantics matters, because is it geoengineering? Is it climate engineering? Is it climate intervention? Is it climate restoration? Is it solar geoengineering? They've literally they keep changing the terminology constantly. So, like, especially when you're dealing with legislation, the moment you use these terminologies, they will just go, well, we'll just rename it something else, and magically it doesn't apply. Regardless, like, you're one of the few people, dude. And I think you're to be commended for taking on, this monumental task, because dealing with state legislatures is like, I'm surprised you're not, you're not fully gray haired by now, just in this brief window. How are you doing mentally? Like, how are you nervous?
I'm feeling the weight right now. And I think it's going to get worse between now and Thursday, because the biggest problem right now that I'm seeing is, how people will rally behind you, champion you. They'll get you to come speak. And I've been going to speak. I've been driving all over the state of Missouri, speaking at 12 people or 200 people, and it's all wonderful. I want to try to do all of them, but I can't. But then you have all these people say, yeah, we're really involved in the legislation, and we are always there, and we're going to be there. And then they ghost you as soon as you say, okay, we need your help. And they're like, no, I can't make it, So I'm kind of feeling like this is up to me type of thing. And that's okay. I've been there before, but it's going to work itself out. Look, I'm going to give my best, my very best. Am I a doctor? No, I'm actually walking in saying I'm just a regular guy who decided to do something, and my story matters, because I'm a Missourian, right?
That's right.
And look, I have 10,000 signatures right here of Missourians in 8 months. And I have people, many more than that, millions of followers who are demanding that something be done about this. And they're going to be looking to you guys on the committee to do something. And so all I can do is the best I can do. I really feel like I'm going up against Goliath, but I am a believer, and all I need is five smooth stones out of that valley, and it can be done. All I need is one, actually. So I believe that God's on my side. He brought me this far for a good reason, and I know He's not going to leave me stranded. He'll have His way. God will have His way.
That is a fact.
That's all that matters. He knows I'm giving it all.
I'm gonna tell you, when I went to speak at the EPA, I was in the middle of Graves' disease. I had it for 10 years. If anybody watches my old videos, they see I look like Skeletor. It's just true. I can pick on myself. I deserve it. And I'm sitting there, and I have this really strong Starbucks coffee. I'm already nervous AF, and I'm heading down towards the EPA. And I'm like, God, please help me. And next thing I know, I step on a crack and I drop the entire cup of coffee. So, and then I get there, and of course, the nerves are overwhowing.
Yeah.
C-SPAN's got cameras in my face. I'm like, how the hell am I going to do this? You know, praying. So, the thing is that, that amount of stress when you channel it can be a good thing. But for everybody watching at home, if you've never done this, then you really you don't know. I mean, you just don't know. Mary saying, "God bless you, Michael." There's a lot of people rooting for you. What I want everybody who's watching this, if you're a believer, if you are the praying type, say a prayer for Michael. Say a prayer for him specifically, because at the end of the day, God will carry you through this, Michael. I know that you got a strong heart, you got a strong mind. Your faith is good. I believe that you're going to get in there and you're going to knock this out the freaking park. And any of the follow up questions, you've done enough research. And I hate that term, research. You have studied enough, to be able to answer the questions. Yeah. So I think you're going to do awesome. And if you don't mind, I'd like to say a prayer for you, like right now while we're live.
Absolutely.
So if you guys, anybody that's watching in chat, feel free to, bow your hand, put your hands together, bow your head.
Yeah.
Lord, Father, creator of the universe, you have empowered Michael and people like myself. You lifted me up over 2 decades ago, and we had a deal. And I know it's not right to make deals with your creator, but I promised you that I would be honest and true to myself and true to everybody and admit when I'm wrong. And that has brought me to this point, and it has brought our connection to Michael. Michael is doing your work, Lord, protecting this beautiful environment that you created. Let him be successful. Let your will come through his words very clearly. Calm him when he is in the eye of the storm. Make his words be effective. Let them be heard and let them be clear. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yes, absolutely. That's all I need. I mean, where you can't explain my story without including really giving credit to him, because it's unbelievable. It can't be done. And that's how he works. He takes ordinary people and he does extraordinary things. All throughout the Bible, he picked people we would never pick to do things. And that's the kind of people he chooses.
He picked dudes with stutters.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I know you have a stutter. You're gonna be my voice. And
Yeah,
and
he's like,
the guy's like, but I think you've made a bad decision.
yeah, the whole world would say that too. We're like, no, we're not taking him. He's 80, by the way. By the time he gets to that point, anyway. So, let's look at a young, fit, kind of like a Saul. Like that's why they picked Saul over David, right? So,
well, at the end of the day, man, like God has carried me through this, through thick and thin, through all of the storms, through the cyber stalking, through the death threats. And I believe that you're gonna sail through this. When you get there, you're gonna feel this overwhelming sense of calm. You're gonna knock it out the park. I'm rooting for you. You're gonna definitely update me on if they live stream this at all. We'll make sure to mirror that so that you guys can see that here live on the channel. And what I would ask right now is that everybody who watches this, go to mocleanskies.org. Follow him on all his social media.
Yeah.
Do that. Even if you don't use the damn thing, it's a sign of support. If you use X, but you don't use Facebook, just go over to Facebook, hold your nose, hit the follow button, and then go over to X and hit the follow button there. That way you can stay abreast of what's going on, because I'm sure you're going to be posting out updates as this thing progresses. This is not, this is not over by, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And you're just starting this marathon. So I hope that you have the wind at your back, and plenty of breath because you're going to need it.
Yeah. Well, let me just say
And
this too. I know God brought me to Jim Lee, and there was all kinds of battles. Everything that is worthwhile in life, there's always a battle that comes. Anytime, if you're sailing through life without any battles, you're not engaging the enemy. You're not really pressing into what God has for you, because that's otherwise it just doesn't work that way. God told us that we're living in a world at war, and He gives us the command that we should put on the armor and go fight. All throughout history of the Bible, He says you have to fight, you have to do it. He could have done all battles Himself, but He insisted that they do it themselves. And very few times did He actually do it Himself. But there's a couple examples in the Bible where He did. But He always told them, you have to do this, you have to do that. Give Him the glory too. But I give Him the glory for bringing me to the truth, and that's through Jim, because the way I look at things now, because I'm still wrong on some things, and when I am, I know that there's people that are in your community that set us straight all the time, and they don't mind chiming in and go, whoa, and they'll point it out, and I love that, because we're going, okay, wait, maybe you're right. He's got to be right about this, or maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But let's look into it. So,
hey, man, I put not an expert literally on my live stream because
I think you should change that. I don't like that, because I mean,
but at the end of the day,
expert, then it's you.
Yeah, I mean, but when Vane Wigington's going around being called an expert all the time, if he's an expert, I damn sure don't want to be one. But it comes from the saying, always a student, sometimes a teacher, never an expert.
Yeah.
And for those who are trying to understand how this actually works, the moment you think you're an expert, and I've met plenty of them who have PhDs and they think they've got it all figured out, and then I literally put them over my knee and I spank their little hiney till it's red. And then they still go off with their little pinky in the air, sipping their martini later on, going, "Oh, that guy didn't know what he was talking about." I got my PhD at TSE. And my post hole diggers from Tractor Supply Company, I dig holes and they just fall in them. So, at the end of the day, we're always going to be students. Sometimes I'm a teacher, sometimes I'm wrong. And that's the thing. Like, if you're not realistic with yourself and recognize you cannot know it all, I'm always learning new things. I've been doing this for 20 years. I learn new things pretty much every damn week. I learned something new. Like right now, we're going through this whole EPA petition thing. This has made me rethink so much stuff that if I met me from 5 years ago, I would punch me in the nuts for being so wrong. So that's just the reality. We are humans. We're fallible. We do not have it all figured out. So I put, my trust in the Lord that He's going to, put confrontations in front of me that are going to make me question what I believe. And if I realize that I'm wrong about something, I'm going to be honest with you. And that's what's built the rapport. That's what builds the respect and the trust that has people literally coming into your feed, who have been following me for 10 years going, dude, you really got to straighten that out. Whereas in the, the Wigington cult, the majority of these people, and I don't fault any of them. At the end of the day, I want to really, bring this home. Judge not lest ye be judged. I was a chemtard. I started out trying to prove that everybody was right. And then through confrontation and debate, I realized I was wrong. To the point that there are still articles on climateviewer.com, which I have not got around to updating, which still have bullshit in them. So I'm going to have to, for just full disclosure, on chemtrailfacts.com, that website is currently 5% complete. I am working on fleshing out the entire thing. I don't want to give away, the secret sauce, but I'm going to create a section that talks about the people who made up the lies that built the narrative that we're currently believing. And I'm going to include myself in that list. And I'm going to put the lies that I told. They weren't, necessarily lies. I believed them.
Yeah.
But I'm going to point out my inconsistencies as well. You know
Yeah.
why? Because it's only fair. I was wrong in the past.
Yeah.
This is why I've changed my tune. And I get that comment a lot, especially um, people are like, well, you used to believe NextRad controlled the weather, and you and, people we're not going to mention here, y'all were making videos about it every day. And then I go, yeah, then I grew a brain and then understood, like, the inverse square law and the frequency and it's non-ionizing radiation and what it's actually like 1400 watts RMS. It's not anyway. So the more you learn, the more you realize, oh man, the stuff that people were teaching me back
Mhm.
then was wrong.
Yeah.
And that's something that's going to constantly happen. So kudos to you for like record freaking time, dude. I know people in my Telegram chat who have followed Dane for anywhere on average 5 to 10 years
Mm-hmm.
before finally coming to the realization, I've been hearing the same crap for 5 to 10 years. There must be more to the story. And that's when they finally go, I'm still interested in this, even though it's been a damn decade, but I want to know more. For
Yeah.
those people, go to MO Clean Skies. Go click on his resources tab.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a great job of giving you very simple. Here's the questions. I'm going to bring it up on the screen real quick just to give you a quick shout out. You guys can go over there and check it out yourself. When you get there, this is what you'll see. What is it? Failing? Just taking long. So when you get here, what is geoengineering? What are the health implications? Are metals in the jet fuel? Universities behind geoengineering? Scientists? Who's funding geoengineering? Is the World Economic Forum involved? Is Bill Gates behind geoengineering? Click on these things. I mean,
don't forget the allies.
Oh yeah. Look, there we go. It looks so much better now. We won't get into
a picture of you on there.
we're not going to get into what was on there before this live stream started, but
Yeah.
while we were in pre-show, I said, I don't know if you know about this, and he's like, oh man, I need to update that page. And then I was like, I'm going to get a coffee and we're gonna start here shortly. And when I got back, he's holding up his cell phone. He's like, look, it's updated.
Thanks.
God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
I am now a member.
And I got to put more up there too. I mean,
MO Clean Skies /allies. And I'm going to go back to the resources. I'm going to throw that in chat as well. I think you guys should check it out because I mean, I've got a lot of these. Are there metals in the jet fuel? And bro starts out with with his own stuff that I know I don't even have on any of my websites, which I thought was pretty freaking epic. So kudos to you for going above and beyond. Nanoparticle fuel additives give hot hope to fossil fuel engines. These are the things that people really just don't want to hear. They don't want to dig deeply into them, and they're just looking for stuff that's going to reaffirm what they already believe. And it's I always say the truth is scarier than fiction. If you really start to dig into it, it's much creepier than just, hey, there's some dudes up there with pumps and pipes. There's a lot of money involved in this. Obviously we'll dig into what's really going on with the chemtrails, and we're going to revisit this because Michael is going to be probably a co-petitioner on the paper that we're going to be doing in the near future. More details on that in the future. Is there anything else you want to that we've left out that you want to summarize before we end here?
Yeah, because the people, the reason people are behind us to begin with is because of the trails, just like I was. So I want to make sure that people have at least the knowledge that we are not just letting that go. We recognize that it is a problem that can be resolved. Okay. And if we bind together and get to the right place in the right ways. And that's what I'm really excited about. And we're letting people know, say, hey, the states, this is what we're doing at the state level. But yes, we are going after the federal government, to talk about to the FAA, to the EPA, and talk about what they already know is causing this phenomenon, and let them know that we demand that they do something about it, and things can be done.
Yeah. And a lot of people they mistake what my position is. Like, my position has never been, this is not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I have been saying, even to my, my haters from the chemtrail debunking world, who are like, oh, you're just riding the fence, Jim. Oh, you're just trying to, like, you know, trying to milk the chemtards, as they like to put it. No, I am trying to take people who have been indoctrinated into a narrative that has been crafted since 1996, which has evolved multiple times since 1996. And turn chemtrail believers into contrail activists. I want people to, I care about blue skies. You care about blue skies. Both of us want to do something about that problem. There are pragmatic solutions that can be taken today if there is a will amongst the people and an understanding of the problem. Then we can actually push for legislation and possibly regulations that can force the EPA and FAA to do something about that. But this is only an American issue. When we're talking about the EPA and FAA, we got to think larger. We got to think ICAO. We got to think about the ASTM. These are the people that actually drive the policy behind planes making clouds. This problem is much bigger than most people want to admit. And also, there's this general there's this general malaise that people have gone through the COVID period, where we no longer trust the media. We no longer trust the government. We don't trust the courts. We've seen the two-tier justice system. So a lot of people have come to the point where they don't believe anything is possible. And if you're in that place, then you're basically in, you're neutered. There's no other way to put it. You have given up, and you're now stuck. You're like, oh, why even bother try?
Yeah.
The thing is, I think we both agree on this, that people have the power to do something about this if they understand the problem. The problem is that all of the people who are profiting from your fear are making damn sure that you do not hear this message. And if you hear it, you ignore it. As Joseph Stalin said, ideas are more powerful than guns. We would not let our enemies have guns. Why should we let them have ideas? He also coined the term useful idiots. So when people are out there being useful idiots, and they're actively suppressing anybody who says something contrary to the fear porn narrative, then that goes against God. Because if you learn nothing else from the Bible, you can summarize it in 2 words: fear not.
Yeah.
So this stream is about no fear. Michael clearly has no fear of the legislators that he's going to have to face next week. And I say bravo to you for stepping up, for, the steep learning curve, for getting your ass out there and doing the hard work, for making the short videos to educate people. Lord knows I'm long-winded. You ain't never going to see this dude from Sumter, South Carolina, make a video less than an hour, especially when I go screw up the first 10 minutes of it with Restream. But good on you for sticking through to the end, man. Tell everybody where they can find you at, and make sure that everybody, please go follow Michael. My hat's off to you. I don't own one.
Oh man, I have to comb my hair when I go into the committee because all I do is wear hats. But yeah, mocleanskies.org. Everything's there. Everything. So that's the clearinghouse for everything, including all of our social media links, resources page, donation, things like that. So
and make sure you support him. Guys like us, we are not rich. And, you know, only the guys that are, you know, dropping, you know, documentaries named The Dumbing with, you know, 30 plus million views and have social media managers and are buying YouTube, you know, and Google AdSense on every single page. I don't understand why people would want to call someone like you or me shills, because if we were shills, I'd be paying a freaking team to run my social media, and I would be paying for ads and have billboards and all this shit. Meanwhile, the chief cultist in charge, you know, Dane Wigingtard, um, lives in a mansion and has billboards everywhere and a monstrous team, but he somehow is not a shill. The irony is clearly not lost on me. I'm just going to show this one more time for those that want to find him. Go to mocleanskies.org, and when you do, you can see up here at the top on the menu, you can donate here, you can buy some merch, come down here to the bottom, all of his social media right here. So follow him on social media. It's at the bottom of the page. You can just click the links right there. Hit that subscribe button and support his work, because I'm supporting his work. I'm retweeting him all the time. I'm most active on X. I will be in my Telegram chat as well. I hope that you guys will join there. All of my stuff can be found at connect.climateviewer.com. When you go there, you will be able to see all of my websites, my social media as well, and links to this video, which are also available on Rumble, X, and D Live currently. So we're live on YouTube, Rumble, X, and D Live currently. And you know, you have my permission to just download this stream and repost it wherever. We don't do that copyright strike bullshit around here. We're all about open source intelligence. I'm not making hardly a dime off of any kind of YouTube AdSense, so I really don't give a damn what you do with the video, even if you make fun of me in it. But go share the video, give it a like, leave a comment, helps out with the algorithm. Spread this to everybody else so that other people can hear about Michael Hogan, hear about mocleanskies.org, and go support his work. Michael, God bless you for taking on this challenge and coming on here on such short notice. I literally played in the snow all day long, came inside at about 6 o'clock. I said, hey, I'm going to take a nap. You down for doing a video tonight or tomorrow? And he's like, tonight. It's like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, let's do it. So this all was planned within about 2 freaking hours. And I'm so glad you did it, Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. And this has been, it's something I've been looking forward to for a long time. And again, we're going to make we're going to make a difference here. And because God is on our side. And thank you for all you do. And thank you for all your viewers, because they're very intelligent. Keep us, you know, if we see something that we post that's, you know, not sure about, keep commenting, because we do listen. We do.
Hell yeah. And I tell people the same thing. If Jimbo's full of shit, please be the first person to let me know, because I need to know before anybody else, so that I can take corrective action and get my feces consolidated. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, leave a comment. Go over to Missouri Clean Skies, mocleanskies.org. Give him a follow. Support him if you want to monetarily. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. Support the legislation. Tune in. Keep your updates on that. I'm sure he's going to be posting out some stuff. Hopefully we'll get a live stream so we can watch him live and watch the reactions from all the other people that are going to show up there and try to, you know, poo-poo this thing. And also, last request, if you do see any of the lamestream media trying to do hit pieces on this, also send those my way, because I will actively fact check and debunk and just totally rake them over the coals live, because we got to be the people to push back on the people who are going to try to lie about the intentions here, which we've made very clear. So when they do that, if you see that, shoot that to Jim at climateviewer.com and then post in the comments this video where Michael's saying with his own mouth, this is not about chemtrails. This is not about contrails. This is a legislation specifically banning the practice of actively trying to do atmospheric modification in the state of Missouri. And the state of Missouri, under the 10th Amendment, certainly has the right to do that because the federal government is not doing its damn job. So states' rights matter. All of your state legislations matter. People need to step up and do the same in their states. It matters. God bless you, Michael. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. If this video resonates with you, leave me a comment because I love hearing from y'all. First time here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell. Yeah! Remember, it would be impossible for me to do this without your support, so please join my Patreon or buy me a coffee on PayPal. And always, attack ideas, not people.